What's going on, guys? This is Black Violin here. Today what I am going to be going over is how to build your melee DPS. There's actually a few videos that I've noticed on YouTube that's like, oh, you have to build them full rings, which is actually, in a way, it's correct. But it's also incorrect because it really depends on the DPS monster that you're using. So for this video, what I'm going to be doing is using my Sebek here. As you can see, he's sitting at my table. I'm going to run over his skills real quick so you know what he is going to be able to do. His basic attack slashes at an enemy twice with his blade, dealing 75% of physical attack to a single target. His circle of slaughter swings his blade in a circle, dealing 70% of physical attack to all nearby enemies. This is like a surround AoE. It hits all the squares like immediately connecting to him. And then Blade of Destruction strikes multiple blows with his blade, dealing 130% of physical attack to a single target, with a 50% chance to inflict stun for one turn. And then his Wrath of the Dead passive, when his HP drops to 50% or below, attack is increased by 70%. So, as I said, I've seen several videos that say, when you're building your DPS, run them all rings. I actually don't really fully agree with that. As you can see, I actually have a brooch or headdress, whatever these things are called. I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure they're part of the brooch class on him, and 2 rings instead of running 3 rings. So to go over his build, as you can see, I have him on a physical crit strike, physical attack, max HP, and then an attack physical attack enchant. I actually haven't been able to roll higher than 8% for light on this yet, which is really annoying me because I really want to 6-star this weapon. But I'm trying to make sure I at least get a better roll on it before I go ahead and 6-star it. Again, I have max HP on this, HP and effect accuracy. I chose the effect accuracy for his 3rd skill here, which does the stun. Again, effect accuracy, physical attack, and HP and defense, as well as a little bit of effect resistance because he is a melee class, so he's going to be like in the middle of everything. And then again, HP, physical attack percent, physical attack, and effect resistance. I actually want a better ring than this, but the physical attack percent was really good, so I actually ran with it. As you can see, he's got a little over 4,600, almost 4,700 HP, to put it short. And then he has a little bit over 10,000 attack. His defense really isn't that great. He could definitely use a better defense. His crit strike is 22 without no crit damage increase. That's another thing that I could really benefit from on him, but I currently just don't really have the better gear, and I have a decent effect accuracy as well as a decent effect resistance because I actually use this guy as my main tank. I do not run tanks like Kalito here, or click the wrong guy, or Arendelle. I actually don't run them because I built this guy well before I ended up getting any tank monsters. So he has been my main tank throughout all of Heroic, throughout all of Mythic. And he works great playing that role as a tank, especially because he's able to deal really good damage, and he's also got the passive that increases his damage when he goes below 50% HP. So he's meant to take the hits already because you want him to have a low HP so he's dealing more damage. So what I'm going to do is run Mythic 1-1 with him, and I'm only going to run a 3-man team. I'm taking my fairy for the heals because the spiders like to crit a lot, and I'm taking Faria as well for her shield and for just like a little bit backup support. So what I'm going to do is show you just how well he can tank with just a single brooch or necklace. It depends on what you really want. If you go with a necklace, it's going to give him more defense. If you go with a brooch, it's going to give him more HP. After I do these runs, I will also show you what's better if you decide to run a sub-tank instead of a full DPS, on which way is better for you to determine which would be better for you to use, a brooch or a necklace. So in this part of the video, however, what I'm trying to do is just show you how well he can take the damage and still throw out like a good bit of damage as well. If the spiders will hurry up and move. So okay, what I'm going to do, since I can actually hit all 4 of these spiders around him, is use his second skill. So I'm going to take it off at ×2, not that it makes much of a difference in this game, just so we can try to catch how much damage he's going to be doing with his second skill. As you can see, he hit everybody for 1301, which is pretty decent, especially to start. We'll just speed this part up, because we're not really worried about what the fairy or dark fairy does. So we're just going to really skip through this. But as you can see, he's easily taking on these 3 spiders with no problem. He had 4 of them on him, and it didn't really bother him. So I'm actually move them away so he gets all the spiders on him, because I'm trying to get him to proc his passive. So he needs to be below 50% HP. Okay, so I am going to use his third skill, which is the one that stuns. So I'm actually going to target one of the 2 spiders that won't be killed from it. And as you can see, all 3 hits hit for 806 damage. And he's still taking like quite a beating. He's had 3 spiders, 3 or 4 of them targeting him this entire run. And he still just isn't really even at half HP. And then his first skill just hit 697 2 times. Okay, so now his passive is procced. He just gained over 1091 attack or whatever. So I'm not actually going to heal him. I'm just going to increase his attack and defense. Because I don't want him healed, because then if I do heal him, he's just going to lose that proc. And I really don't want him losing it. Okay, so his first skill just hit. I believe it was what, 937 the turn before he procced. And so now we're going to see that it's hitting 1133 and without 1134. See if I can move her up here. Okay, so he just got healed. He'll lose his proc, but I was trying to keep my Faria alive long enough to at least kill one more spider. And as you can see, he just critted for almost 3000 damage there on his second skill, which is actually his weakest skill. So that is just somewhat of the capabilities of what a single brute can do for a tankier DPS type monster. So now I'm going to change it to a full ring build and just show you like what's really the difference running the same team. Like I said, his damage will actually be better, but he's not going to be taking as much hits. So take this off. I'm pretty sure I have a ring maxed out. I'd like to have this one maxed out, I think. Let's see if I can find one. It's 117. Okay, so with a full ring build, let's see what the difference is. I didn't realize that that wasn't hitting my Dark Faria. Not that it really matters. She's gonna shield anyways on the first hit she takes. But as you can see, my Sebek is actually taking already a considerable amount of heavier damage than he was before. It took about 3 to 4 turns for him to, or 3 or 4 attacks, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say turns, for him even to be reduced down to the bar he's at now. So same attack, we're going to see just how much of a damage difference it really is to even run him this way. Okay, so he hit 1391. I believe that's about maybe 200 more damage than what he was doing. No, I take that back because it was under 900. It was under 1,000. So it's about 400 more damage, which is, in this game, it's actually a considerable amount of damage. Trying to get my fairy to just heal her. So what if I move her there? Okay. I'm trying not to heal Sabet because I'm trying, like I said, I'm trying to get him to proc his passive, just because it's to see how much damage he's going to be really doing. And he's got poison on him now because I don't have the effect resistance I had before. Okay, so I'm not sure if his passive proc, I think it did. So we're going to, it should have because he's pretty low. So we're going to see what his third skill does now. And they dodge, of course. That's one of the things I hate about this level. But as you can see, he's most likely going to die now because he's on a full DPS build. He's really not able to take hits. So if we're lucky, he'll survive. But he's poisoned, so the poison's gonna kill him, if anything. First skill does 2,400 in all. And now he's dead. But that should actually show you what I mean by a sub tank. Like I said, all you really need is that one. All you need is that one brooch or whatever, and it makes such a considerable distance or difference. I'm not even sure if I'm actually going to be able to clear this level, but that's really not the purpose of this video anyways. So actually what I'm going to do next is show you how to determine whether you should be running a full ring DPS unit or a double ring brooch slash necklace build, so they have the most effect out of them. Okay, spiders, come on. Like how that spider's just like, oh, let's hit this guy. He's almost dead. Let's get down here real quick. Kill this one. Okay, so I think I'm safe enough to just auto it. But the AI in this thing, like again, I was about to say, the AI is just pretty dumb. The fairy chose to hit the full HP target instead of the or the spider that was almost dead as it is. I'm gonna actually try to save it if I can, which I doubt. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be able to come back. Yeah, I knew that shit was about to happen. Oh, I said I left. Can I run long enough to get my second skill one more time? Nope. Okay. That was such an exciting battle there at the end. Okay. So, anyways, how to determine whether you want to run a full DPS or a full DPS with rings or do a sub tank build really depends on your monster stats. I suggest actually, well, I'll show you instead of going through it this way. I suggest using the codex for whenever you are doing this. Let's see if I can find somebody. I believe he's DPS. He would be a good example. Yeah. Okay, so Arendelle here is another DPS monster. What you really want to look at is first off, you want to look at their skills. If they have high damage skills, like this one is 125%, that's fairly high. But this one's only a 60% attack. At its max, it's going to do 90%. Oh, hold on. Okay, I'm not really sure how this skill works because it says physical attack coefficient, which is going to go to the 60%, but then bonus physical damage. So I don't know if that goes to the 60% physical attack or the plus 50% additional damage to the specified target. So, either way, he has a passive that deals 40% bonus damage to targets that have a higher attack than him. For this guy, he would be a very good example of someone that would actually benefit more from a double ring slash brooch or double ring slash necklace build. So what you want to do is click this little thing up here to get them to 6 stars. So you're looking at their 6-star stats. First off, if they have an HP that is naturally like this guy's 3,000 or more, or even really just 2,500 is ideal, then they would really benefit more from having a brooch than a necklace. But he also has 500 plus defense, which is also really high. So he could also benefit from doing a necklace build. So he's receiving less damage. So ideally, if I were to build an Escherite, I would actually do a double ring necklace build because he already has a fairly good defense and a very high HP build as well for a DPS. And he already has a fairly good physical damage immunity rate of 110 and a magic damage immunity rate of 85, which is fairly well as well. So he would actually benefit more from a necklace because you'll be able to get damage immunity and magic immunity rates on those as well. And as well as block rate, I believe, is on necklaces. So he would benefit more from a necklace than a brooch because it'll give him a tankier build over a higher HP build. Why I would do a sub-tank build on him is actually because of his passive. He's going to be if he goes melee versus melee or DPS versus DPS, you would actually want him to have slightly less attack power than the opponent you're targeting, so he deals bonus damage. So if you could that kind of sub tank build would really benefit an Escherite, a fire Escherite. Who would I build on a full ring build is, see if I can find somebody. I don't know if he's yeah, he's ranged. Okay, give me a second to find somebody. Okay, Deathmons actually, their DPS, they actually benefit more from having a very high attack build on them. So these are heroes like this. She has a 839 attack. She's still got the really high defense and HP. It's exactly the same as Escherite had, if she were to be 6-starred. But she already has a crit strike chance, which Escherite did not have. And yeah, everything else looks exactly the same as Escherite. So that's kind of funny. But if you were to look at her skills, she has 75% attack, physical damage, and then a 50% chance to bleed. And it's 20% of her physical attack. So automatically, for her first skill, you want her to have really high physical attack to benefit from the bleed. Again, this is inflicting 50% of her physical attack as physical damage. And then 80% of physical attack to all targets within range and reducing their incoming healing by 30%. And then her passive deals 30% of physical attack bonus physical damage as well. So, like I said, it really depends on the hero. Because you would definitely want a fire Deathmon if you were to build a fire Deathmon on a full ring build. As you can see, the top player has a full ring build on her. He's actually got a 6-star or a natural 5-star weapon legendary. I wish I could get some of these. Like I have not gotten any natural 5-star legendary weapons. I'm actually going to go back to Escherite and see what his top hero is. Okay, so this guy's got him on a full attack build as well. I guess he really doesn't know. It looks like he's got effect physical attack. He's got him on an HP build, kind of. Yeah, he's mostly got him on an HP build, so his focus actually wasn't a completely physical attack. Yeah, as you can see, he even though this enchant's not for fire, it looks like he's trying to go for an HP build, which is actually what you kind of want, is an HP or defense build if you were going to build a fire Escherite. So that is the difference in a sub DP or a sub tank, which is a DPS monster that's meant to help your tank by being slightly tankier, you know, not doing as much damage as they're capable of doing, but being able to withstand the hits as well, and you know, stay there in the fight and help like tank off, you know, take some of the heat off of your main tank. Or you can do a full ring build for full DPS and just have your DPS going in there and like trying to deal as much damage as they can before they're killed off. So it really, like I said, it really depends on what you're looking for. It really depends on the hero, on what build is better for them. So I hope this video helps you decide what is better for you and what's better for your hero, because I'm seeing a lot of people, especially in arena, I see a lot of people try to run DPS, and their DPS hero is super squishy. You know, I'll have my mage in there or whatever, and my mage will just like nearly one-shot them, and will one-shot them if they crit. So I always find it funny, honestly, because I can take my Sebek in there, and he's definitely not going to be one-shotted. He's going to be standing right next to my Arendelle, like pretty much throughout most of the fight, and he's still doing considerable damage because his passive as well. So hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing more videos on how to build your characters or your heroes, whatever you want to call them, as well as hero reviews. I'm going to be doing team build videos and stuff like that. So just hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, what would be a good video to do, what you would like to see, if there's a certain hero that you would like to see a hero review on. If I don't have the hero, I will try to find a friend of mine that possibly does have the hero built, and I can use their friend rep for that video and do a review on that hero as well. So just leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Like I said, subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends, do whatever, and I will see you in the next video.